Welcome aboard, Skylark Outdoors here, and today we are going to review the Slyvan G Series pontoon boats, which we've got right here. This is their higher end lineup, and you can see instead of a typical aluminum surround, they've got kind of a shaped fiberglass around the boat, giving it that higher end look. As you enter the front of the boat, you've got two benches, and this is actually the Slyvan G5. There's also a Slyvan G3, but there is no G6. And then they've got a variety of different layouts. They've got the Slyvan G3, CLZ, DLZ, and LZ, which are all just different layouts of the same size boat. So this boat is 27 feet 8 inches and has a max horsepower rating of 400 horsepower. They've got a 350 on this. And then as we go to the stern, you can see it's a dual console, but you've got this overhead arch that has a really nice shade cloth mounting point. So I love that. You've also got the ability to mount some sound systems on there and technically use it as a tow tower. And then for stowage, you can actually fold that down, no issues there. But this also does come with a tow tower in the back. So you can see in the back there, you've got a tow tower that you could tow a water skier, wakeboarder, or tuber behind, no problem. So I love that they've thought about water sports on this pontoon, especially when you've got a max horsepower rating of 400 horsepower. You're going to be able to tow anyone that you want on this water ski, wakeboard, whatever you want to do. Now, when you've got the rear aft platform here on this larger one, the 27-foot 8 version, the G5, you can see there's plenty of room on the swim platform. You've got these really nice cleats that fold down so you don't stub your toes, which you don't appreciate until you've stubbed your toes a couple times on cleats, and then you do appreciate the ones that fold down. I don't know why it happens, but it seems like when you're getting on and off the boat, they're easy to stub your toes on, so it's nice they fold down. And you can see this one's outfitted with a Mercury 350 horsepower V10. Heard a lot of good things about the Mercury engines, 450 to 300 range. So this is one of those in that range, the 350. You've got a nice swim platform here in the back, and then you've got this railing to kind of keep people in. If you've got kids or something like that, you don't have to worry about them wandering out the back so much. And then you've got a little cooler back here, a sink, drink holders, and some stowage back here. So I like this little bar area to keep your beverages nice and cool. You've got a table at this rear seat. And then that seat back on that rear seat can either fold forwards or backwards to make it a larger rear layout deck if you want, or you can fold it forwards like they've got it here. And then that's used more as like a seating arrangement, L-shaped sheeting. And we can see our tower here with the shade canvas. I like this. It just adds more stability to it when you're cruising rather than a flip up top. You've got that nice arch that it's attached to, and it's going to give you a lot of shade. So if you've got a long day out in the water, you can escape back to that shade as needed. Here, the dual console layout, you've got little stowage here, and they do have integrated phone charger areas on this. I believe at the captain station. I'm not sure if the one on the passenger side has it. You've got electronics from Simrad here. All your buttons nicely laid out to turn on your lights. Little windshield. Now, this is one thing on pontoons that I will say is more important than you might think. It's nice to have at least a small windshield to deflect the wind. Otherwise, you can end up with a whole bunch of bugs in your face if you're riding around on at dusk and it's just a day that you're getting bugs there. So it is nice they thought of that windshield. That's probably enough to deflect that stuff so they go over your heads when you're cruising across the lake at 30 miles an hour. Wasn't that big of a deal when you had a pontoon with a 50 or 75 horsepower engine on it and you're only cruising at 15 miles an hour. But 350, 400 horsepower on a pontoon and you're going 35 to 40 miles an hour, if you don't have some kind of windscreen, you're going to feel like you're in a hurricane, as well as you're going to get all kinds of bugs in your face. So I love these seats. There's a ton of adjustability here. They're very comfortable. I also like that the seats that they fold up in the front so you can actually kind of stand on that boat, kind of like you're going to see on a typical center console. That's really nice. One, because when you have the bow trimmed up, you're going to be able to see higher. So you can fold that seat up. It gives you like another 6 to 8 inches of sitting depth, and then you're going to be able to see over the bow for better visibility, better safety, as well as sometimes it's just more comfortable to stand rather than just sit down if it's really choppy. So I do like that. It kind of gives you a leg rest, and or you could sit on that upper seat when it's folded up. And as we move to the forward here, you can see that gate. Just the accents on this are a little bit different than your typical pontoon boat. Slyvan does make your standard pontoon boats with the aluminum siding, but this one's designed to be kind of a higher end pontoon boat to compete with the Bennington pontoons and other premium pontoons. So it's got a nice look on it. I do like the white on the outside. You've got some lights there in the front. Looks kind of like a modern car there. So that is nice in terms of what you get. And we can see this tow tower a little bit better. See, there is a tow tower here as well as a nav light there on the top. So you've got both options, either the rear or top. Typically, if you're wakeboarding, you want to use that top tower rather than the rear one. But you can use the rear one too if you wanted to, and it's nice and sturdy in both locations. It's nice that they give you the option for either one, and I really do like that they made them both very solid here. And then you've got that great swim platform in the back. So let's go over some other specifications on this. This is the Slyvan G Series boats. So they've got both the G3 and the G5. And then they have 3 different layouts for each, the G3 and G5. And the only difference between the G3 and the G5 is the G5 is larger. So the G3 would be 25 feet 8 inches. It's one size smaller than this. This is the G5, which is 27 feet 8 inches. The G3 weighs in right around 4,300 pounds, whereas the G5 weighs in at 4,300 pounds. So G3 3,400 and a G5 4,300. And then you have the CLZ, DLZ, and LZ. Both the CLZ layout and the DLZ layout basically have that rear layout bench in the back, which I really like, whereas the LZ is basically mirroring those front cockpit benches in the aft behind the driver and passenger. I think I like the DLZ layout and the CLZ layout, which is basically what this is laid out as, where you get that little bar area in the back, you get the layout in the back, you have that nice swim platform, and then you've got a table back there as well. And I think just the access for the refrigerator back there and little hand washing station is really nice if you're going to spend a day on the water. You've got a 60-gallon capacity. Now, they don't list the top speed on these because of just the different variations and engine options that you've got. But I'm going to say that this most likely, if you've got it outfitted with the 350 or the 400 like this one is, you're probably going to get pretty close to 40 miles an hour or at least the upper 30 miles an hour for your top speed. It could definitely be higher than that, but I'm going to say pretty safely upper 30s for your speed on this. Now, overall, nice pontoon boat. You've got the tower there. You've got the shade, which I really like, versus a traditional fold-up canvas. I love it being able to stay up when it's at the dock rather than have to fold that down all the time. And I think shade is one of those things that is underrated on the boat. When you have a hard top and a little bit extra shade, it does make a difference on those really hot days when there is a lot of sun. And those are the days you want to be out on the lake in the water. And having the extra shade allows you to extend your day rather than getting sunburned or getting just too much sun or getting too hot. What's nice about this is both in the G3 and G5 configuration, 4,300 pounds, let's assume about 1,000 pounds for a trailer, maybe a little bit more. This could be towed by either a larger SUV and or a truck, so I think that's nice. If you had a 1,000-pound trailer, you're right at about 5,300 pounds. A lot of SUVs are going to be able to tow that, and or even like a mid-sized truck. A lot of those are going to be able to tow that. And of course, a 1,500, 150, 2,500 going to be able to tow this, no problem. So it's a pretty lightweight boat for what you get. And then you have a 13-person capacity on this boat, which is really nice. So you can bring a lot of people on there, or if you've got a large family, you can fit everyone on this boat. Overall, I do like the styling of this particular boat. I like the front. It just gives it that little accent that you don't have in a typical pontoon boat. Just makes it look a little, I guess, more modern than a typical pontoon. And some of the other accents like the wake tower and then that front gate, just the shape of it, rather than it being just a piece of aluminum there with some painting on it. That front gate just makes it feel a little bit cooler, I guess, when you're out on the water. Now, it's to each their own. Everyone's design trends and what they like. But for me, this one, as far as a pontoon goes, just hits some of the right notes that I like it, as well as I like the ability to tow from either the top or the rear, and just that they laid that out truly like you would see on a water sports boat, so that it's easy to access, easy to use, and appears to be high quality. Sometimes it seems like an afterthought when you've just got a pole in there. You absolutely can use those and everything, but this is definitely much sturdier. I'm a larger person, so I put a lot of strain on those tow towers and the rear tower when I am being towed by something. So it's nice to see something nice and sturdy that I know somebody can hit that throttle and really pull me around, and I don't have to worry about it. And I think that's something really nice that they thought about this as a water sports centric platform, in addition to being a pontoon that you're going to be able to enjoy all the time. Sometimes the water sports thing is kind of an afterthought, but this is definitely set up with water sports towing in mind, and you're not going to have any issues with that as well. So thank you for watching this review of the Slyvan G Series boats and the review of the Slyvan G5 boat, which we've got right here. If you enjoyed this video, the best way you can support us is subscribe, click the thumbs up button, and then also check down in the links below. If you've got any questions on this boat or any of the other boat reviews you see on the channel, please, you can sign up for the email list, and or you can contact me directly in that contact list, as well as we've got courses to help you make a better boater and enjoy the outdoors more, as well as help you learn how to maintain your boat and make your investment last. So check those out in the description below. Once again, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I would recommend, if you liked looking at this, also check out our reviews on the Bennington pontoons, because Bennington's also kind of a higher end pontoon. And you can kind of compare the Slyvan to the Bennington and see what you like in those higher end categories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.